Hello everyone, this is a drinkless world, and I am here, unfortunately, for a major update in the 55-gallon. You may notice the blue panac is in here also. Just real quick to say, before we get to the main thing. I'm going to make a video about this, but the 37-gallon broke, and I had to rehome all the fish to other tanks. The blue panac has been doing really well in this tank despite how tiny he is. And he's actually been getting along really well with the big bristlenoses. But he is getting bullied by the red-tailed a little bit. I say that while they're both literally chilling next to each other, but they do chase each other from time to time. Like that, there you go. If that keeps happening, I'm probably going to move him to the 20, which I'll talk about the 20 situation in a whole different video. But what we are talking about is the big crippled angelfish in the room. This distressed beauty is Domino, one of the first fish I ever put in this tank. He is a platinum angel, and he is a part of a hierarchy in this tank. And to probably many of your guys' surprise, his fall was not from the blood parrot or the red hump even. Not even the electric blue acara. The electric blue acara is still scared of the angelfish, despite the size difference. It's just so wide that it's imposing, I guess. But it's actually thanks to this guy. Which honestly might not be as surprising as I think it is, because man is this a menacing fucking cichlid. Sorry for swearing. Daybreak here is a mouth-brooding severum, and he is the youngest member of the cichlid group. And him and the angel did not get along. In fact, the angel is probably, other than the red hump, the most aggressive cichlid in this tank. And that's saying a lot, considering what I'm about to talk about, because he very quickly became the third, and now he's the fifth, because, yeah, no. But sorry, I had to take a pause. He is not in the best of shape right now, and I've got a feeling he isn't going to make it because I don't have a hospital tank. But he would be the main fish to pick on Daybreak here, who used to be much smaller. In fact, the main ones who fight with the severum, who I'm going to look for now on so you don't have to watch a dying angelfish for the entire video, would mainly have a rivalry with the platinum angel and the electric blue acara. And it got bad at times. The angelfish actually had beaten the severum up pretty bad before, though the severum also tends to get into scuffles itself. I'd say that he certainly became much more aggressive, but I think it's just because, it's a male. And I know mouth-rooting severums can be a bit more temperamental. However, Severums and Angels are very commonly kept together, though I'm starting to understand why those are larger tanks. In a larger tank, this would probably work, but simply put, the Severum, who is right now getting bullied by the electric blue Akara, funny enough, got sick of Domino's shit, and Domino got a few chunks taken out of him because Daybreak is just done with it, I guess. His main two rivalries, other than this guy who he's still scared of, and the red-tailed shark who just has beef with everybody because it's a red-tailed shark. Like, that was the main rivalry in this tank. And from the looks of it, it looks like that rivalry has come to an end in the worst way possible. I made this video both to document this because this is a big thing for my tank. A bit of for remembrance of Domino, which I'll get into in a bit. But also, hold on. But a sucky thing. I'm gonna be honest real quick. I'm doing this all in one recording and I completely forgot what I was going on about with the three main things. But I'm gonna try and do it again just so this can stay one video. Also, I'm just gonna focus on the other fish in the tank because paying attention to Domino right now, while I am, it's just gonna be depressing for you guys. It's a thing that happens in cichlid tanks. When you keep cichlids, no matter how hard you try, because cichlids are so territorial and have a bit more intelligence than your average fish, they both love and hate each other. And similar to like tetras and rainbow fish, schooling fish, if a member is not liked, there is a good chance that that member might end up dying. This is a very common thing with much more aggressive species, but arguably could be really made out for any cichlids. Any cichlids I've kept together, from Apistos, Keyholes, Bolivian Rams, the Angel, the Severum, to the Blood Parrot, Convict, the Jack Dempsey, and even Goker. They all tolerate each other. Some cichlids like presence more than others, but as much as they love each other, if they start fighting, there's always a chance that it's gonna turn out bad, just because that's what happens when fish fight. And I feel like I'm starting to get into tangents here, so I'm gonna leave this on one last note. This is also dedicated in memory to who I've got a feeling is the very soon to be deceased angelfish, Domino. Not just is he one of my most beautiful fish, but he's also one of my oldest. Granted, he's not even a year old, but he's still close to like 8 months. He's a big boy compared to a lot of the other fish I own. And he's been through a lot. This tank had a very bad camellia worm issue, thanks to my local Pet Supplies Plus. And it was to the point where I had to remove worms from him to ensure that, like, he would survive. I've been through a lot with this fish, and he's been through a lot, but he's been punching up his weight too high, and sadly there's nothing else. I'm going to observe him for the next few hours to see how he does, but I've got a feeling he ain't gonna make it. You've seen how he's been doing. It's grim. And I'd like to also say, try to avoid this. The whole point of planning before a tank is to avoid situations like this happening. But there is also always a chance that something is just going to happen because cichlids are very unpredictable fish. It's just a risk with keeping fish together. But that's going to be the whole video. I think I've ran this on long enough. This really sucks. The good news is that other than him, the rest of the tank is doing fantastic. But I would have preferred it to do fantastic with him also doing fantastic.